Hello everyone, I'm Brett, and welcome to Nightwood Guns. Today we are looking at the Tisas D10 1011 chambered in 10mm by SDS Imports. Is this the budget 10mm 1911 you've been waiting for, or is it a train wreck? Be sure to stick around for this video because this gun was quite the roller coaster ride. And as you know, with my reviews, you get honesty and integrity from a consumer point of view, but that's also a difficult model to sustain. You know, it's like, none of these gun companies are ever gonna share or repost my videos on their Facebook pages. So if you like what I do here on this channel and you wanna see more of it, I actually created a Patreon page, finally. So in the link in the description below, be sure to check out the Patreon page. I'm brand new to it, so right now it's just general support. But guys, you know I love you and you know I appreciate anything you can do to support the channel. Now on to the review. So I'm gonna start this review out with one of those like record scratch moments, like I bet you're wondering how I ended up in this situation. This is actually my second D10. So the first one, I fell into the trap of I was looking for a 10mm 1911, but there are like none in stock anywhere, but this Tisas had just come out. And at my local gun store, I picked it up, and the fit and finish felt amazing. I was honestly surprised by it. Then I took it out to the range, and the thing was an absolute mess. And it was beyond just a break-in period. There was something critically wrong with the gun. While you were shooting the gun, 1 to 3 times per magazine, it would just dent the casing, scratch all along the casing, and jam it into the chamber so hard that you had to pound the slide free. And no amount of precious 10mm ammo in any kind of load would fix the problem. There was no breaking this gun in. And I even had Trip Research Cobra mags I tried in this thing, and it was still having the same issues. Something that I noticed with the gun is the slide to frame fit that really impressed me in the gun shop. After about 1 mag went through this thing, those tolerances were just shot. Now, I'm not saying it was a rattle can, but it didn't impress nearly as much as when it was brand new and after only a single magazine. And something that I didn't notice until I was really looking over the gun later is the checkering on the front strap was like Wish.com checkering, and it was uneven on the left side and the right side of the gun. It's like it didn't fully wrap around. I reached out to SDS Imports, went through their return process, and sent it back on a UPS ground shipping label, where they had the gun for a couple of weeks, and then I got a very thoughtful and detailed note from their gunsmiths. Now, I mentioned that I was a YouTube channel and that I was reviewing the firearm, and they said that the gun that I got was unacceptable, and they had picked out a new one at the warehouse, and they ran some rounds through it and confirmed reliability. So then they shipped me back, UPS ground, another firearm, and that would be this one. And to their credit, this one is indeed reliable. However, the fit and finish on this one isn't nearly as good as that first one that I got. And unfortunately, it's to the point where if I would have felt this one in the case, I would have passed on it. So with the exception of the front strap checkering on the first one, the fit and finish on that first one was truly impressive. But on this one, the safety is very poorly fit. Check this out. So safety off, and then you push down on the safety, and you've got some play there. Get some like Morse code going here. And on the other side of the safety, you can see that the safety is poorly fit to the gun because you got that hole in the frame there. So now that's something that is present on some 1911s, but the original Tisas D10 that I had did not have that exposed hole with the safety on. Something that was not present on the first one, that was present on the second one, is when you press the trigger, you can actually feel the grip safety pushing back into your hand. Now that in no way affects function, and you can't feel it while you're shooting, but it's something that the first one didn't have. And this is also the worst fit grip safety I've ever seen on a 1911 that was not hand built by a cat. Oh yeah. It's like a loose tooth. And worst of all, the slide to frame fit on this gun is worse than the first one was after I had run a couple hundred rounds through it trying to break it in. Like seriously, check this out. The amount of play that this thing has, especially at the rear of the slide, is pretty crazy. Now, honestly, I wouldn't be giving the gun this much of a hard time about its fit and finish if the first one that I had wasn't way better. But like I mentioned, despite all the fit and finish issues, this gun has been reliable for me. Now, someone might argue that the looser tolerances are actually helping its reliability, but I wasn't experiencing any malfunctions that would have indicated too tight of tolerances. My best guess is the geometry of the bevel on the underside of the slide where it picks up rounds was cut at the wrong angle. Now I know what you're thinking. This is a Tisas, it's a super budget 1911. Of course you're going to deal with all of those problems, and normally you'd be right. However, the comparable Tisas 1911 chambered in 45 ACP, the duty model, that is all Cerakoted black, has a street price of like $430. That same exact gun in stainless steel has a street price of about $530. The street price on this guy is about $750. So it is $300 more than the 9mm or 45 ACP variant in flat black, and it's about $200 more than the 9mm and 45 ACP variant that is all stainless steel. This is 50/50. It is a Cerakote slide and a stainless steel frame. And at $750, I would expect more from this gun. So what are you getting for your extra $200 to $300 more in this Tisas 10mm? Well, first of all, you are getting the front strap checkering and you are getting the checkered mainspring housing. You're also getting an adjustable rear sight, a pair of Wish.com G10 grips, heavier recoil spring, and of course, without a doubt, its most premium feature, an engraved X on the slide. But other than that, wait, shit, hold on. You get a sealable, waterproof Wish.com case. But other than those things, you are getting the same gun as the duty models, including the ambi safety, the front slide serrations, the memory hump on the grip safety, the forged slide, forged frame, Series 70 internals, which are all good things. And I'm pretty sure the 9mm models have this as well, but this does have a ramped barrel. And the list goes on. These Tisas are typically an excellent value for that $400 to $500 range. But when you start bumping up to $750, when you're competing in the same space as the Springfield Ronin in 10mm, that's only $100 more than this and comes with a fiber optic front sight, in my opinion, a superior ledged rear sight that is more tuned for self-defense or woods carry as opposed to target or bullseye or bowling pin shooting with the adjustable rear sight, and the flat black target front sight, not to mention the blued slide and the wood grips. The only thing that this really has over the Springfield Ronin is the front strap checkering. So I feel like this was brought to market to compete with the Springfield Ronin in 10mm by coming in at market about $100 less, but the superior fit and finish of the Ronin is worth more than that $100 difference. If this gun were priced even $100 lower, I would be kind of on the fence. But here's the thing, you can get a mid-tier Rock Island Armory in 10mm for about $100 less than this. And while that Rock Island Armory isn't gonna have the checkering, it is going to have a fiber optic front sight, an adjustable rear sight. It's even gonna come with a magwell. It's gonna come with the Filipino G10 grips. But other than the checkering, it might also be missing the front slide serrations. But the Tisas D10 kind of fits in this weird spot of it's $100 less than a Springfield Ronin that, in my opinion, fit and finish wise is superior. And it's $100 more than a Rock Island Armory. So if you're in the budget tier, why not go Rock Island? And if you want something that is mid-tier, why not go Springfield Ronin? That is, unless the checkering is just an absolute deal breaker for you. So what are my overall thoughts of the Tisas D10? It's fine. Like, it's one of those things where if this just fits your budget and has the features that you're looking for, it's fine. And to SDS Imports' credit, their warranty service was pretty good. They sent me a brand new gun and they made it run. And I really want to give the gunsmiths at SDS Imports credit. They even went through the trouble of doing accuracy testing on the gun to make sure that it was completely within spec, that it was functioning properly, and that the gun was shooting accurately. SDS Imports really impressed me with their warranty, and it gives me the confidence to recommend 1911s imported by SDS because their gunsmiths are going to put forth the effort to make sure that you are satisfied. In that note to the gunsmiths, they told me that everything that they did, picking out a new gun, making sure that it ran, testing accuracy and reliability is something that they would do for any customer, not just somebody with a YouTube channel. And to me, that is something worthy of praise. However, I'm not gonna lie, part of me secretly wishes that they would have tuned this gun up a little bit for a YouTuber. But you know what? Fully to their credit, they were honest, they have integrity, and because of that, I would recommend Tisas 1911s by SDS Imports if you are okay with the morality of purchasing products that were manufactured in Turkey. In conclusion, SDS Imports has a decent warranty. They will make sure your gun runs. Number 2, these Tisas D10s are extremely inconsistent. Number 3, I think they should have taken a couple of the features off of this gun and made the price point lower to better reflect its quality in fit and finish. Seriously, skip the X, take off the checkering, put on plastic grips, and sell it for $200 less. Because it's frustrating to see some of the quality of life upgrades that are increasing the price, but the fit and finish is that of a lesser priced gun. Now, the super nice and thoughtful people over at SDS Imports told me to reach out to them if I had any other issues, but honestly, I'm tired of having money tied up in this gun, especially with the ground shipping a week there. It's there for a few weeks, a week back, and knowing that I would have to go through all of that again. And I also feel like I don't have much of a leg to stand on because the thing runs, it is reliable, that was my issue. But the D10 just has the fit and finish of one of their $400 guns, except it's got checkering and G10 grips. And honestly, the customer service and the gunsmiths at SDS Imports were so nice, I feel kind of guilty doing this review, but it's honest. I hope you enjoyed the video, everyone, and I hope you found it to be informative if you were considering getting a Tisas D10 chambered in 10mm, or if you were interested in a budget 10mm 1911. Don't forget to hit the like button. In the comments down below, let me know if these issues would steer you away from this gun at the $750 price point too, or if I'm just being nitpicky. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribing to the channel helps more than you know. If you'd like to help me recoup some funds from the inevitable hit I'm gonna take on this gun, along with all of the precious 10mm ammo that was shot through it, then check out the Patreon page in the link in the description below. And of course, if you're looking for something to read, my books are on Amazon. Well, thanks for stopping by, everyone. It's always good seeing you. I'm Brett, and this was Nightwood Guns. Nightwood out.